Hello and good day. Welcome to the part 5 of our Excel VBA web automation series. So today we will focus on how to click a button using VBA. So previously the topic is how to input value to a text box using the two different way. One is if the ID attribute is existing, you can simply use this one line of code. But if not, you need to use this function. So this function is just a for loop to check what attribute would you like to use as reference to find that element, and then once the code or the program find that element, it will input the value you want to input there. So today we'll just input a value to email and password, and then we will click the login button. So I'll just remove this comment, and so we'll do this for email, and then just to use our input value function, I will be using that for the password element. So using, oh, this is an Internet Explorer. I'd like to do the inspect element more on the Google Chrome browser. So here, again, to use this function, you need to specify first what is the input or what is the element type. Then the next one is what attribute would you like to use as reference. So for this one, we will be using the data test ID, and then the value of that parameter should be royal pass, and the value that we will send that is a password. Okay, so once I run this, it will populate the email and the phone text box. And then next thing is to click the login button. Okay, so like text box or like the input element, there's also two ways to click this button. So the first option is if the ID is existing, or if the ID attribute is existing within that element, you can just simply do the same with what we did with inputting a value. You can just simply ie.document get element by ID and get the ID of that element, which is EO2. I'm not sure why that is the ID of that element, and just simply add that click. So let's try this code. And I think I forgot something. We already convert the IE navigate, but we did not convert the get tab. So I think it's better to do that since I am having a slow internet connection. So later we'll change the navigate to get tab instead. So let's just wait for this site to load completely, and then again, as the sequence of our code, after this loading part completed, it will check if this element is existing within this page, and then start to input value. Once the value has been inserted, then it will go on and click the login button. Oh, and there. So you can see it loads again because the program clicked the login button. So that's an error because there's no really login like that. So there. Oops. Oh, someone is using that email, huh? Okay, so by the way, let's go back to the home page. And again, as I said, I will be converting the get tab function, so we don't need to wait for that loading time. So to do that, I need to go back to our web function module, and here I will be adding the get tab function, and here is again in activating tab there are two types of attribute that you can use. Uh, um, it's either title or a URL. So I think, and then what's the value of that attribute? Let's just use what val as string, and maybe we can set it as boolean. So if the tab was not found, we need to inform the user that there's no existing tab with a URL or with a title that we are looking. So let's start with for each IE, or for each let's say IE tab in create object shell that application that windows, and we need to check if that IE tab is in an Internet Explorer application. Then if yes, we need to look through all the existing tab. So if IE, or let's check first what is the attribute being used. So if URL, or else if you case, so if URL, we can say that if I tab the document that URL is equals to the value sent to it, then we need to set IE is equals to that IE tab. And of course, don't forget the exit for. So same with the title attribute. If I tab the document, the title is equals to the value sent to it, we'll set the IE to the IE tab object, and then make sure to add exit for. Okay, so I think there's something I forgot. I need to declare here a variable is found, should be a boolean, and then the initial value of this variable should be false. And if ever the tab was found, we need to set that variable to true. It should be same in here. Okay, and then for this function to return the value of that variable, we need to use this function name, and should be equal to whatever the value of the is found variable. So here, this is our current IE with the Facebook tab active. So to call that, instead of IE navigate, I'll just comment that and activate tab. So if get tab, we will be using the what do you think? Maybe the URL instead. So let's use URL, and then this should be the value of the URL is equal to true. Then just do nothing. So that is just to activate the tab. So now let's check if this code will work. Okay, this is our IE. So once I run this, you can see, oops. Okay, object. Oh, there's no get element ID. Is that true? Not actually sure. Let me remove this first again and try my code again. It is saying that there's no element with this ID. So let's run again. Yeah, I encountered the same error. Maybe it's no longer that ID. So let me just refresh this page in the Google Chrome, and I will inspect if I'm thinking correctly that the ID of this element is dynamic. No, it's not changing. Why my code was not able to click that button? Okay, let's use wall instead. So let me try again, and yes, I still encounter an error, which I am not sure why. So okay, so let's try to inspect element using the, I'm really confused and actually curious how that happened. Okay, why it was hard to use this okay, I think in the Internet Explorer this is already now the ID. It's now UO4, but here it's UO2. So we cannot trust that attribute. So I think we need to go on the next option. So if we can see that this property is not static for this element, we need to switch with the for each loop instead. So instead of doing that here, I'll just create another functions to click a button. So the function should be, we will name it click button, and of course it needs an element type, an attribute, and value of that attribute. Okay, and then we'll create a for each btn in ie.document.getElementsByTagname. So whatever element type was sent to this function, and then if btn that get attribute, whatever attribute was sent to it with the value of uh, with the value of variable, we will click that button, and of course make sure to add exit for. So in this case, I can see that the best property to use here is the royal login button, which is a body of the data test ID attribute, as you can see here in the Internet Explorer as well. So I'll just need that element. I just need to call that element here. So click button, and then again the element type is input. If I am not mistaken, that's an input, yes. And the attribute we will be using is the test ID, data test ID, and the value of that attribute should be that button. So now let's test this code. So once I run that, oh, I'm sorry, I already closed the IE. So let me just use this. Well, actually, even if I will not comment this, it will still run. Again, I really apologize to the slowness of my internet connection. So there, it worked now. Yeah. But of course, there's no valid login with that username and password, but someone is using that. That's interesting. So let's go back to the home page. And now again, let's try the getup function only. And let's see if we will still encounter any error. So using the get tab, so I'll just run it, and there. So I hope you can see the advantage of using the get tab compared to IE navigate, but again, that still depends on the scenario. You can only use the get tab function as long as you know that the page is already active within your Internet Explorer. So that's all for this tutorial, and there's still a lot of topic that we need to cover for the web automation. If you have any question, suggestion, or any, if you were confused with any of this code that I use, please let me know, and I will probably get back to you. Or if you have any problem that you cannot solve, as long as it is related to web automation using VBA, please let me know. So see you on the next video. Bye for now.